Hello, everyone, and welcome along to this webinar. In this session, we will talk about how you can organize your property data, property details using the Lendlord software. So I will go over the agenda for today. If you have questions, feel free to put it on the chat, and Nick will, if it's relevant to the topic, Nick will ask the question for you. And I will answer. And in the end, we'll have a questions and answer session. So basically, you can also ask questions there. So what we are going to cover today. So we'll touch how you can upload your data into the Lendlord platform, if it's a single property by property, or using a spreadsheet. So basically, you can also upload spreadsheets to the platform. Then we can discuss how you can filter and segment the data and basically use different subsets of your portfolio or portfolios. After that, we'll touch the custom views. So how you can customize different views to your property details and portfolio details. We also discuss how you can set up reminders for key events such as compliance events, gas certificates renewal, EPC, EICR, how you can get reminders when your mortgage product is about to expire, landlord insurance, and tenancy agreement, and much more. We also discuss and describe how you can upload and store relevant documents to like your property level and also to a tenant level. We also touch the tenants and tenancies module, how you can store data about your tenants and tenancies, and how you can review the insights of the platform, that what is generated based on the data that you uploaded and maintain on your Lendlord account. And in the end, we'll have a questions and answers session. So we start with how you can upload your property details. So can you see the platform? Yeah, okay. So this is my demo account. The main dashboard is already set up because I already uploaded some of my data. The main page to upload and store and maintain your property details is the My Portfolio page. So from the menu, you can click on My Portfolio. So in this page, basically, you can store your property portfolio details, and you can manage the data, filter it out, watch different views, etc. So let's see how I can start and add my first property or add a property to existing portfolio. So click on the Add button, and you can click Add Property. Once you click Add Property, a right sidebar will be opened. And this right sidebar is separated by different sections. The general fields, this is the place to input some general data about your property. It can be the address. We use Google autocomplete. So basically, the platform will autocomplete the postcode and the city for you. The date of purchase, when you purchase this property. The platform will keep historical snapshots of this property based on the purchase date up to 5 years backwards. And this will also help you to manage the cash flow and the profit and loss and the transactions page for this property, also for the historical period if you want. The property purchase price, and this is important to know that on My Portfolio, you just put the purchase price, and on the profit and loss page, there is a section to add all your purchase costs, the additional costs, like the stamp duty, refurbishment, if you did some refurnishing. So in the profit and loss, this is a place to manage your cash flow and also to review metrics like your cash on cash. And this is based on your cash investment. And because of that, you need to enter all the purchase costs on the profit and loss page. And I will show it after that. The property value, So what is your estimation about the current value of this property? You can put your own estimation, or you can use our API with property data to calculate the value of the property based on parameters that you enter some fields in order to understand and get some indication about the property value. Be aware, this is just an indication, and so take it into account, and in the end you can put the value you think this property is worth right now. Then the rental income, and this is the gross income. You have other places in the platform to track vacancies or to track the actual rent that you receive, and this is something they can do in the My Tenants rent collection page. The ownership, is it a private, this property is on private ownership or a company ownership? If it's a private, just keep it private and you will take care of the owners on the mortgage section. But if it's a company, just put company in the ownership field, and if you already define companies, you can use them, or if you have another company that you have properties on, you can create another company entry, and after that you can update more details on the company in the company's page, but we will not touch it right now. So let's say that this is for this entity building A. I use also the company to manage properties under buildings. This is a walk around. We will add a support for buildings in the near future. Then the mortgage section, this is the place to put details about your mortgage. We also use it to put the ownership. So let's say that Dan owns 50% of this property and Kate owns the other 50%. Who is the lender, the mortgage start date, mortgage end date, the original mortgage balance, and the current mortgage balance. If it's an interest only, usually it will be the same, but if it's a capital and interest like repayments, then basically there might be a difference with your current mortgage balance to the original mortgage balance. Each month, the platform will calculate for you the new current mortgage balance if it's a capital of interest mortgage. But of course, you can review it and tweak and change based on the exact amount. The repayment method, interest only or capital interest, the current interest rate, when the rate is about to expire. And this is important, and we'll touch it when we speak about key events and reminders. Any date that you put on My Portfolio will create a reminder for you with alerts and email notifications that this rate, for instance, is coming to an end and you need to do something. You need to do a product transfer, speak with the lender, speak with the broker in order to retain the discounted rate. You can put the mortgage monthly cost here, and if you have early redemption fees, you need to update them. So early redemption fee might change during the fixed period of a mortgage. We take the early redemption fees when the engine calculates for you opportunities to remortgage. So if you put the early redemption fees, our engine will calculate how much you are going to pay in penalties if you want to remortgage during the fixed period. And if there is opportunity for you to save on your costs, even if you pay the penalties, you will see the recommendation on the insights page. The product type, is it fixed, tracker, variable, LIBOR? What is the revert date? So if you don't do a product transfer, usually the rate is going to the variable standard rate of the lender. So you should also track it and be aware of that. And other details that you can store. So after those two sections, you have other sections, the property details fields. So if you have extra details you want to store on your property, this is the place. For instance, if it's an HMO property, you can track it here. You can put a reminder if you need to renew the license of the HMO. So basically, you can manage it here, how many units this HMO has, the property activity, the construction, the property type. Is it a freehold or a leasehold? If it's a leasehold, how many years left on the lease? And many other details. So this is the place to save the details on the property. By the way, we receive a lot of feedback. So if you see that something is missing or you want to maintain other fields, just let us know on this chatbot. We usually add more fields as we get requests. The utilities field, this is a section to store all the details about your suppliers. If it's your gas supplier, the electric utility supplier, water, broadband. And also in this section, you can manage other details about the property that relevant to insurance companies. If there is intruder alarm, a fire alarm. Also, you can put the test date, and then you can receive reminder on those dates as well. So also important if you want to store this, just store it. After that, I will show how you can also view the data in an easy way. Your landlord insurance section is to put the current policy number, the insurer, what is your monthly premium. Again, this is the gross, and like on the cash flow, you will track the actual premium that you pay, and the insurance end date. Again, here, if you put an end date, you will receive a reminder before the insurance end date to basically renew your insurance policy, or just verify with your current insurer what is going to be the premium for the next year. You can store the gas safety certificate, next renewal date as well. Electrical check, what is the certificate? I will show after that, after you can also upload the certificates themselves and store them on your landlord account. The tenants fields I will skip for now because we have a section to discuss it. The EPC, the certificate date, you have the certificate number, you can store it here. What is the current level, EPC level of this property, and the due date. And again, when you put the due date here, you will receive a reminder. So make sure that you put all the dates when you update a property. One important thing, don't worry, you can, when you enter a property, you can just start with few details, like just the address, postcode, purchase price, rental income, perhaps some details about the mortgage, click done, and then you can edit and continue. There are no mandatory fields, so basically you can enhance the property details as you go. When you have time, you can add more and more details. The other section speaks about extra financial products that you have on top of your mortgage. So if you are further advanced from the lender, you can put it here as well, and it will be tracked, and will also impact your equity, cash flow, all the relevant fields that can be impacted by further advanced product. If you have a secured loan second charge, you can also keep the data about the second charge loan. If you're bridging finance on this property, you can also track the data about this bridging finance. If it's a property that is still like a prospect, and this is not the case, but if you start with a prospect property, you can also put, or if you just want to store the agent details and some details about the deal. If it's a prospect, you can also put the date of viewing and receive a reminder for that. So you can also store this data. And we have some calculated fields that will be available for you to view in the table. So after we did that, just click done, and the property will be added to your main table. Do we have any question for now, Link?
No, we're okay for the time being. There was one question that came in, but I'm not entirely sure what it means. I think it was saying what any breakdown for lump sum cost input. I think that goes down to if you purchased a property and you're uploading an individual property, is there any way of logging in or logging on a cost?
Yes, yes, there is. And all the costs and transactions should be maintained from the profit and loss page. And here you can track your ongoing cash flow on each property. And we had just did a webinar on that last month. So perhaps we can, in the end of this webinar, we'll put the link for this webinar on the chat, and also tomorrow when we publish this recording, we can also put a refer to this webinar. Just talks about how you can manage your cash flow. Now, another way to upload data is if you maintain a spreadsheet. So you can upload the basic details from a spreadsheet that you maintain by clicking Add, Upload Portfolio CSV. Now, even if your CSV is different from what we expect, you will be able to map your fields to the platform fields. You just need to make sure that the file is a CSV file, that the titles of the columns are in the first row of the spreadsheet, the dates are in this format, and the percentage in this format. And then you need to upload the file from your file system. Click on upload, and you can see that this is the platform field from the left side, and this is the fields that the platform retrieved from your spreadsheet. So the platform will already start to do some mapping based on similarity algorithm, but you can change if it's not the right mapping. So after you do the mapping, you click continue, and you can review the details that were uploaded from the spreadsheet. And if you're happy with that, click confirm. So you see that I have currently 7 properties, and I'm going to add now 3 more. And it's a great way if you just start from scratch to upload the initial data to the platform and then tweak it after that. So I click confirm, and I will have now 10 properties on my portfolio. And of course, that if I want to tweak some of this data, I can just hover over a property row, click edit, and the same right sidebar will be open, and I can tweak the data. Another important thing about how you make sure that all the data is stored is to go to the dashboard. In the dashboard, we have a widget that speaks about the data completion. So you can see the portfolio information. So currently my level is 73%. And the platform identified that I have 17 missing mortgage data and 26 due dates. So I can click on this. This is a new feature, by the way. And there is a wizard that will help me put the details one by one. So for this property address, I'm missing the early redemption fees. So I can take a look. Okay, it's 2%. I click update. Okay, now the early redemption fee for this property is, let's say, 1%. Early redemption fee for this property, 2%. So this is a great way to upload all to enter all the missing data. And you can do the same for the missing due dates. So for this property, what is the insurance end date? I click update, I'm going to the next one. For the same property, what is the electrical, the EICR renewal date? I can click update. So this is a great way to complete the data that is missing in the platform, and you will always see on the dashboard the completion level of the information about your properties. Okay, so this is the first topic, how to upload, enter your property details, how you can tweak them and add more data as you go. The second topic that we discuss is how you can filter your data. So I will go again to my portfolio. And here on the right side, on the top, you can see the filters. So the filters, this is a great way to get subsetted segments of your portfolio. The first filter is just the property filters. So you can unselect all the filters, all the properties, and then just pick one if you want to take a look only on one property. Or you can basically select several properties together and take a look on just on them, and you can see the summary of how much value those three properties have, the current loan balance, the total equity, and other metrics. We touch the selector. Okay, the second filter is the prospect properties. So this is if you analyze new potential acquisitions using our deal analyzer, you can store prospect properties as well, and you can manage them also on the My Portfolio page. So if you want to take a look just on the prospect properties, so deselect all the properties and select the prospect ones. And here you can also click edit and edit some details about this prospect property. What else you can do is to do some what if scenarios. So let's say that in this portfolio, I'm going to sell 3, 4, 5. And instead of that, I'm going to purchase this property, 4, 3, 2. So I can see how it impacts my value, loan balance, total equity. And I will speak about the views in a second, but just for this example, I can also switch to the performance view and I can see what are going to be the metrics of my portfolio in terms of the performance in the next 12 months and also for 10 years if I do this change. So this is the prospect properties filter. The second filter is the owners. So if you recall, when we enter the property, we were able to define owners, and for each owner, the percentage he owns in this property. And in this filter, you can filter just the properties that Dan holds, or John, or Kate and John together, or Kate and Dan together, or all of them together. Another thing that you can do is that if I want to see just Kate's property, I can use this toggle, show values by percentage, and you can see what is the level of Kate in the equity, for instance, based on her percentage. And those filters, you will see them also on the profit and loss. So you can also see what is the profit of Kate based on her percentage. What is the net cash flow, the income, the gross yield based on her percentage. So those filters you will see them on other pages as well. So if you want to maintain a Lendlord account with your partners, it's definitely feasible. Another important filter is the owners. And here basically you can filter out. So if I have properties on private ownership, just select the private ones and you will see all the properties in private ownership. If I have properties under company, limited companies, I will select the company. I will see all the properties under company. And you have this tooltip, so you can see the icon that this property is under company ownership. And if I have more than one company, I can also view just company A properties, or company or building A, or company B if I have more than one company. So it's like another way you can filter the data and review segments of your portfolios. So we will go now to the next topic, unless, Nick, if we have questions on this topic.
Yeah, there's a couple here. Alexander has asked, I think you've just answered it. Is it possible to see the profit and loss broken down by owners, like private and various companies? Which I think you've just answered.
Yeah.
Alexander, if that's not, if you need to know any more details, drop me a line and I'll ask Aviram for you. But I think you just answered that one. Lewis has asked, it's quite an interesting one, this one. Lewis has asked, is it possible to record any overpayments to the mortgage?
Yes, and all the recording of expenses and incomes, if it's overpayment, even if you received overpayment for tenants, or if you paid overpayments for mortgages, should be tracked on the profit and loss. And the best way to track it is from the transactions page. But again, I think that we had like a seminar, like webinar, just on how to manage the cash flow. And Nick, you can put my Calendly link on the chat, I believe in the end of the session. So people that want to learn more can schedule a call with me or one of our team members, and we can basically deep dive into more details on, especially on how you can manage your cash flow. It's very important. Okay, so let's go to the next topic. How you can customize different portfolio views. So again, on my portfolio page, you have the views drop down. So this is a great way to see different views on your portfolio. So after you filter the data, so you see, okay, so for now I want to see the entire data of my portfolio. I don't want to filter out anything. I can play with the views. The default view is some fields that we, the Lendlord team, put, but you can change this view by using the columns drop down. So for instance, if you don't want to see the rate expiry date in this view, just you can deselect it. And if you want to see the date of purchase, you can select it on the default view, and you can also order by. So if you want to see it, let's say before the property purchase price, just put it here and click save, and then you will have it here. This table, by the way, you can order by, just click on the column, so you can see if you want to see by the properties by the purchase date. So just you can basically order by any column. It's very easy, like easy if you want to compare specific field across all of your properties. So this is the default view, and you can change any view. The performance view is based on what you defined on the profit and loss and transactions. So it takes data from there, and you can see what was your last 12 months net cash flow. So it's subject if you set up your cash flow properly. And you can see some predictions. So what is going to be your next 12 months cash flow? And this is based on the predictions you put on the deal analyzer. How you put your prediction, I will touch it just in 1 minute because it's not the subject of the webinar. Just hover over the property row, click on deal analyzer, go to the long-term assumptions and see and decide, okay, for this property, my estimation is 3% for annual appreciation and 2% for rent appreciation, and click save. So this basically will affect your next 12 months predicted net cash flow, predicted cash on cash. Sorry, this is the last 12 months, not 12 months cash on cash. This is the prediction for the next 12 months cash on cash. The level of cash investment that you currently have. This is also managed from the profit and loss. In order to get the cash investment right, you just need to select the property on the profit and loss page, click on the purchase cost edit, and add any expense you had when you purchased the property or any capital expense you want to attribute to this property. and this will affect the cash investment on this property. And this is the baseline that we calculate the cash on cash, for instance. And you can add any other cost you had. So this is the performance view, and it's a great view to understand in a high level the performance of different segments of your portfolio. And you have other views. The equity view is a view that I really like because it's very simple. You just see each property, how much equity you have, and what is the current loan to value. And also you can order by top to bottom, bottom top, also the LTV. The deal details is mainly for prospect properties. If you want to store, in this case, in this portfolio, I don't have details about it, but if you store details about your agents, date of viewing mainly for prospect properties, you can see them in a dedicated view. The mortgage view, so here if you want to send information to your broker or to your lender, just select this view, click export to Excel, and you have all the data in Excel spreadsheet. All the views, all the data is exportable, of course. And soon, by the way, it's a heads up. We're going to release, we receive a license from the FCA to act as the mortgage broker. So you will be also be able to start a mortgage application online through the platform and engage with lenders through our broker license online. And just with your consent, we can send these details to the lender. But anyway, if you want to use the data, you just need to select the view, click export to Excel, and then you have the data. The same for the insurance details. So if your insurer or the insurance broker that you work with ask for specific details, of course, you need to update all the details in the relevant section on the right sidebar. And then after you have the data, just export it. You can export to Excel and send it over. And the due dates also a nice view. You can see all the due dates on each property. Now, if you want to customize it even more and you want to create your own views, click Add New View. You can call it by name. And you can select the fields you want to see in this view, and you can search for specific attributes you want to include. Click Done, click Save, and here, it's a view that I just created, and it's very easy, very useful if you want to just select subsets of fields that you want to take a look on. And you can also tweak it after that if you want to change and select more fields or order by just drag and drop the field. So this is the way how you can customize or create different views. Do we have any questions for this on this, Nick?
We've got a couple of questions that have popped up. Lewis wants to know, would like to know rather, if you've entered a transaction, two good questions. If you've entered a transaction incorrectly, how can it be amended?
Okay, so we'll stop now for the data just to show how you can do it. So go to the transactions page, and in the transactions log, you will have all the transactions you allocated for this period, and you can click revert, and then it will show up on the transactions page again, and you can allocate it to a different property, or you can change the amount, change the description. So basically, this is the way to revert it. When you revert it, it will be disappeared from the profit and loss page. and it will be disappeared from, so if you track it to a specific tenant from the rent collection page, it will be disappeared as well. So this is the way, like use the transactions log to revert transactions that you already allocated.
Okay, thank you for that. There is another question. It doesn't have anything directly to do with what we're discussing, but I think it's still worthy of asking anyway. So when a company bank account is linked, how is the Lendlord system automatically identifying which transactions belong to the specific property?
So we do it, so if you link your bank account, the first time you will need to allocate the transaction to a property and to a tenant. Or this account is without the linking account. So let's say that I selected this property and I selected, let's say Ben Green. This is the tenant for this property. So so after you click allocate, the platform will ask you if it's a recurring transaction, and the engine will remember that this description and this amount, based on similarity algorithm, is related to this property and this tenant. So next time that they see this subscription and this amount, it will be allocated automatically to this property and to this tenant if it's expense to this property in this category. And then you can review it on the transactions log, and you can make changes from the transactions log if something went wrong. So you can always revert back and allocate it again to the right property or the right tenant. And this is something that I think we covered it on the how to manage your cash flow webinar, but perhaps we can do like a dedicated transactions webinar as well to deep dive into those details as well.
Yeah, just to note to everyone, some of these questions are perfectly relevant, but we have done, but keep them coming, incidentally. But we have done extensive videos on these, so we will direct you to the YouTube channel where you can find them.
Yeah.
And then obviously, if you see what suits you, then you can go and digest it all there. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll do it, and again, once you put my calendar link, please feel free to schedule a Zoom call, 30-minute session, and I can answer all of your specific needs or give you more guidance on how to use the platform, me or one of the team members. So, and then we can basically, touch specific cases, use cases, and see how we can solve them. So the next topic is how you can set up a key event reminders. So first you need to make sure that all the dates were tracked. So I showed it when when we discussed how you can enter property details. So for instance, if you put the mortgage expiry date here, the platform will create an alert for you, and you can use the new widget on the dashboard to basically update all the missing due dates. And after you enter the due dates, there are several places you can see the alerts. So on the dashboard, you have some type of a calendar, so you can see what are the next events that need your attention. You also have the alerts sidebar. The alert sidebar will include also rent payment overdue. By the way, if you track rents on rent collection and you have rent payment overdue, you can send a reminder to your tenant with a message that he needs to pay. You can edit this message, of course, but you will receive alerts on Lendlord insurance, gas certificate, EPC, actually basically any date that you define on my portfolio. On the alerts, you will see it for the next 3 months. And each alert will also follow by an email notification. And you can go to your settings page and define the frequency you want to receive alerts before the due date. And then based on those settings, the platform will send emails to you. And you will know that you need now to renew your insurance or to do a gas certificate or order like an EPC or to do a product transfer with your lender if it's a mortgage product like expire. If you want to take actions through our platform, go to the Insights page. And here you have the action required section. So you can see again what is the event. And here we can also introduce you to partners that can help you also arrange online, for instance, in this case, an EPC order or gas safety certificate. You see the price that they offer. Or of course, you can use your own provider. So this is also a place to see it. So again, just for key events, make sure that when you update the data, you have all the dates here, or you can use the wizard in the dashboard to just enter all the missing due dates. Okay, so this is this topic. Any question, Nick, or we can go to the next topic?
Hold on a second. Yeah, Lewis has got one again. The apart from the profit and loss, is there a balance sheet you can see?
Yes, so we are going to introduce next week a more enhanced reports page. Currently, you have reports for the expenses breakdown. And choose the period that you want to take a look on. The same for estimated profit and loss. If I want to see the last, or let's take the last financial year. So I can see for each property what was the income and the expenses on each category and what is the expected profit before tax, the profit after tax. And if you want to deep dive into a specific category, just click on the blue link and it will take you to the expenses breakdown report. And the plan, by the way, we are going to release a reports page, more enhanced reports with more P&L like breakdown. So if you want to see it like on a different way, I think that we will do like another webinar just on that. But for now, you can go to the profit and loss page, click on the estimated profit and loss report. You have also a tax report with the breakdown, how we calculate your expected tax for the private properties and also for the properties under company ownership.
Okay, so note to all that it's worthy if you do use the Lendlord system and after using it you come across something that's missing or a method that you'd like to see better than we've done it, or there's something we've overlooked, by all means please forward it to us, and we will obviously make sure, do our best to make that happen for you.
Yeah,
I just drop that one in there.
Yeah, just use the chatbot here and interact with our team if you have any issue or if you have any suggestion or you miss something or a feature, so feel free to let us know. So the next topic is how you can upload and store documents. So on your My Portfolio page, hover over the property row, click on the 3 dots and choose Upload Documents. So for each property, you can upload the latest insurance policy, the tenancy agreement, gas certificate, EPC, but basically it's unlimited. So basically you can add another document, put the description, and upload it from your file system on your desktop. And I think that we limit it for 15 mega, and above of that, you need to use our premium plan. But most of the files should be okay to be uploaded. And you can rename the file, you can delete, you can of course download it just by click on the blue link and you will have it again on your desktop. So this is the way you can upload documents. If you hover the property row and click on the property page icon, so this is the page for a specific property. You can also you see the document section here, and you can upload from here and you can download from here the documents for this specific property. You can also upload pictures for this property. You can also upload the documents on the my tenants for the tenant level. If you want to store any details about your tenants and you have the right structure to do it, you can also do it on your landlord account. So this is how you can upload documents. The next topic is how you can store your tenants and tenancies data. So this is a new page. So like another page, go to My Tenants, and here click Add. You can also use this exactly what we did for portfolio data, you can do for tenants data. So if you have your tenants in a spreadsheet, you can also upload the file, map the fields, and do bulk upload of all of your tenants. And if not, you can just click on Add Tenant. And here we have a different method. It's a new version. So you will have this page to add the details of the tenants. Here you can add either it's an existing tenant or it might be also a prospect. If it's a prospect, we will announce it, I think in 2 weeks. We integrated checkboard, so you can also do a reference check to a prospect tenant. And this is part of our premium plan. So if you have our premium plan, you will be able to get five properties for 1 month for unlimited checks for tenants. So even if you have 5 different prospects, it will be included in one property for 1 month, and you have 5 like this. And of course, if you use our premium plan, you'll be able also to link unlimited bank accounts, to do unlimited postcode searches. You have Xero integration if you use Xero as accounting software, and also the unlimited tenant referencing. So this is also something new. So if it's an existing tenant, you can put the general details, the tenancy details, so which property this tenancy related to. If there is a unit name, you can also name it, the tenancy period, the start date, the end date. And other important details. The tenancy details is important because once you define the frequency and the starting date, you will, the rent review, the rent collection will be created automatically. I will show it in 1 minute after that. And you can also upload and maintain the security details. If there is the guarantee contact details, what is the deposit scheme, and the deposit amount on this property, some other details. Click Save, and you will have this tenant here. You can review the details that we just added. This is also available from our mobile app, so if you want to get the number of your tenant instantly, just use the mobile app, go to My Tenants, and review the details that you need. After you add a tenant, make sure to visit the rent collection page and select the tenant, and see that the platform created for you the payment schedule for the entire tenancy period. This is important if you want to track your cash flow, to make sure that you have all the future payments in place. And if you're not happy with its payment schedule, you can always edit a payment or delete a payment or add a new payment. So basically you can adjust the payment schedule for each tenant. Make sure you do it before you start tracking transactions. And again, we discussed it all in the YouTube webinar. We'll put the link soon for the cash flow webinar. So this is the place to manage your tenants and tenancies details. Before we go to the next topic, Nick, any questions? I think that we're running out of time, so try to make it.
There's one question about can we link Free Agent, which is accounting software. I know we've got stuff on the roadmap for QuickBooks and stuff like that, but Free Agent would be something else we'll look at, won't we?
Yeah, to be honest, it's currently not like in the plan. It's in the roadmap, but not like for the near future plan. But if we see that there is like more demand to also integrate this, we'll do it.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
And the last topic, how to review the data and insights on an ongoing basis. I think I touched it. So in the insights page, you can see the action required, increase profit, and different demo account. But basically, if the platform identify, for instance, opportunity for you to remortgage, you will see it here and also on the dashboard. And the best place is the interactive report that we send every week, an email with interactive report. You need to force your credentials and log into your account, and you can see a view of your entire portfolio in a high level with some insights about the top performing properties, the worst performing properties, some insights about taxes, the next reminders for due dates. If you have prospect properties, you can review them here as well. And you can also go property by clicking on the property box in the background. And on each property, you can see, for instance, in performance, the ranking of this property compared to the other properties. So this is a nice way to review every week your portfolio and just go property by property. You can also update some of the details here. So if you think that the value went up this week, you can upload it. You can update here, and then it will impact your growth chart of this property. And if you want to see the entire growth of the portfolio, you can see it on the dashboard. And also for a specific property in the report, but also on the property page. In this case, there is no change, but in general, you can see it here. So in order to review the data, you can use the interactive report. You can get insights about mortgages that are available for you based on the portfolio on the mortgage search page. And you can search for mortgages. Here we basically match the lender results based on their criteria to your portfolio. So we stress your portfolio and we check the total loan to value, how much the engine checks, like how much mortgage balance you have with each lender. And based on that, you can see what products are available for you based on the applicants. So each applicant has a different case together. We take it into account. And also if you apply as a limited company, we see different lenders and different rates. So this is like another way to get insights on top of your data. This is like in a high level. There are much more that we can cover in the next webinars. So so this is the last topic, and now we have time. I know that we are running a bit late today, but if you have any other questions, please put on the chat, and I will try to answer quickly.
I know we've got no more questions at the moment, Abiram.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. How many levels of staff can you? I think Rainby has asked a question of how many levels of staff can you use. Again, Rainby, forgive me if I've got this wrong, but I think what she means is the if you got staff, can they log in to do stuff without going too deep in what obviously what you've got?
Do you mean if you have team members? So
Correct. Yeah.
so if you want to invite your partners or any other people that you want them to review your data, you can go from this menu to team members. And here you can see the list of people that are now have access to your account. Click on invite team members, put an email address and click send invite. And then they will receive an email to create a Lendlord account attached to your account. So basically they will have the same, not the same credential, different credential, but to the same Lendlord account. Currently, it's without permissions. So make sure that you understand, like be aware that they can also edit the data and review all the data that you have. In the future, we'll do like it with permission, so you can invite someone just with a read-only permission or just to review specific properties, but it's not live yet. So if you now invite team member, be aware that he has the entire permissions to review your account and also change the data.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. So so thank you, everyone. And Nick, if you can put now the links on the chat, and I will also put the link for the, by the way, you can access our YouTube channel. And in our YouTube channel, you will find the historical webinars that we did. It's a great place for getting content about our platform. And this is the link for, sorry for the advert. So this is the link for the webinar about how you can manage your cash flow. So we will put it on chat as well. So you can watch it and learn more. And of course, we will keep you posted with the next webinars. In the meantime, you can schedule calls with on the links that Nick just put on the chat. You can schedule a call with me, one-on-one session to get training, or with one of our other team members. And of course, you can use the chat bot to interact with the team members. If you have any question, any suggestion, feel free to put it here. And I think that's all for today. So thank you, Nick, for helping me here with this webinar. And
Pleasure.
Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next webinar. And I hope you enjoy the platform. Thank you very much.